Alrighty guys, today up here at Grandma and Grandpa's place, I'm working on the 525. Had a for it's Sunday afternoon, April 16th I think, 17th. Figured I had a free moment here right before we start planting. We're gonna start planting tomorrow. A couple guys started Saturday, but we went out and looked the fields and thought it was probably still a little too wet to start planting, so we're gonna wait here till tomorrow. But anyway, I'm up here working on the 525. I figured I'd get a start on it here in case I got to order some parts. Well, anyway, we are. I got to work on the governor on it. About the main project, about driven governor down there. I'll show you what it's doing here in a minute when I get it started up here. Come on. It was nice of them to put this access panel in here. They were thinking when they made it. There we go. Come on. So we'll see how that is to get off. I don't have to go through. I've got a shop manual for it, and how to adjust the linkage and everything once I get it apart. It leaks a little bit of oil, so it's got its own oil contained in there, so I'll be glad to get that fixed back there so it doesn't leak anymore. But I'll fire it up here and show you what it's doing. It did it all this time with ran tool, and I didn't have time to fix it, but I was a little bummed about it up there, but it still ran good up at ran tool. Let's see. I gotta turn the gas on. I shut the gas off so in case it just wouldn't siphon the gas tank. If it would happen to siphon up, but I don't think it will. I think it actually leaks back, and so I'll have to crank a little bit here to get the gas sucked up. Got seed beans on there. He's on. Took right off pretty well, actually. I got a cable up there. If you saw my video from the junkyard, me and Ethan went to the junkyard. I got a cable to get the speedometer working again, so I got to get that on. Get that on, get the governor going, and then just switch it over to wheat. I think you're about to do it. I mean, I got some other stuff I'd like to do to it if I got time, but it's not a necessity. I gotta get, after I get those couple things done, I'm gonna get the 7800 out and work on it. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I'm gonna warm up a second here. I'll show you what it's doing. Anyway, what it was doing, or is doing still, the governor, I think the flyweights are stuck in it. And so it is rated RPM, or high idle on this machine, supposed to be about 2150 to 2200 RPM. And I put this tack in it last year when I got it, because I just like to know the engine RPMs. But anyway, when you rev it up, it had run up to, when I first got it, before it, because the oil was, it was low on oil in the Governor. It would run up to almost 3,000 RPM instead of the 2,200. And but then it's kind of slowly creep up there, and then it wouldn't even. And then when you're going through the field, it wouldn't have any power at all. It pulled down way too easy, so the Governor was obviously stuck. And the only way it would ever kick in is if I went on the road and I pulled the lever back for the variable speed belt drive, and once it pulled it down to like 1,400, then all of a sudden the Governor would kick in and it'd throw you back in the seat and take off and go. But until you had to get it revved up or really pull the thing down to get it to do that. So I think the flyweights are just real sticky in it. So I'm going to take it apart and hopefully I can find gaskets and seals and stuff for it. But anyway. Like there you can see it's just creeping up now, about 25. I had done some adjustments on it and got it down to where it wouldn't run over about 25 or 26 when it was warmed up, but it would only, but then I had to sacrifice a little bit of horsepower for that, so, you know, need to get it fixed, because if we get some 80 or 90 bushel wheat, it's probably going to need some, need that horsepower, and I'd like it for corn. Come on, idle. You're idling real good there. And if I got a chance, I could really, bearings in that variable speed belt drive down there, it could use a set of bearings. There's 2 pillow block bearings to hold it in place, but I don't know if I'm going to get to that before we cut wheat. You can hear them whine just a little bit sometimes, so. And I'd like to get the lights working, because they're just kind of, you know, wires are cut and it's going to need some new lights, but you know, that don't have to happen to make it run right, so we'll see. Got a little bit of blow by there, imagine that. That's the original engine in this thing. I don't even think it's ever been apart, and new from 64. We got it off a farm, or the people gave it to me. They bought it brand new, just about a mile west of here, and they farmed 27 acres, and they had it for that. So, you know, it's definitely been in the area, and I love having it. I love the old combines, but anyway, well, we'll get the Governor off of it now. Already got the one of the bolts out and linkage out. I'm still getting the one bolt out, but I've been smelling something the whole time. Been in the shed like something died. It really pissed me off. Couldn't figure out where it was. Start looking around, and I get in right here. There's a freaking cat and a squirrel, it looks like, dead right there. Pissed me off. Now I gotta dig that crap out of there. Stand here and smell it. Hey, damn it. When I got this combine a year ago, I got out of the shed and there's an old skeleton of something laying right there. That must be the place to die, I guess. God, it reeks. And I really don't know how those 2 animals got in here, because this is a sealed shed. We've got gravel all the way around the edge. Door comes down tight on both ends. Must have got in someday and the door is open, and I tell you what, it makes me mad, stupid animals. So I dig that out. I'd wait till I can get the combine outside, but I have a feeling that's probably going to be a couple weeks. And by then they'll be just totally nasty, since it's going to warm up here. Alright, there's 2 bolts. I don't know if I'd really like to get this impact in here, but I don't know if it's going to fit. Come on, get in there. I don't know. Just a shade long, I think. Dang it. This bolt's kind of a rip. Both these bolts are. That's the problem with combines. I love combines. I love working on them. I'd run a combine before I'd run anything else. But sometimes it just takes two guys to work on them, and I'd like to have another set of hands down underneath holding the wrench. Come on, you stupid ratchet. Put some new bolts in it that turn easier. Gotta do a little wiring work too if I get around to it, because that alternator was bad when I got it. Oh, that's, yeah. I was adding up earlier how much money I got in it, and I couldn't come up with what I thought I had in it, and that's why. It's because the alternator had to be repaired. But anyway, that wire there is the exciter on the exciter circuit of the alternator, because it takes a certain amount of voltage to get the alternator charging initially, and it wasn't ever charging. And come to find out that between the alternator being bad and that wire had been cut, that was part of the problem. So I had to put that wire in, but for some reason it still draws like I want to say it's like 0.01 amps. No, it's probably 0.1 amps, I think, all the time. So I have to disconnect it. I've been disconnecting it every time I shut it off overnight, but I'm gonna have to get that one fixed at some point. Put a diode in the circuit, I think, because if I or how was that? Oh shoot! How was that? Let's see if I had the getting looser. If can't remember how that was. I'd have to trace the wiring again, but if I didn't unplug it, it would, because it runs through the key switch. That's it. If I didn't unplug it, it would drain the battery, or how I can't remember how exactly that is. But if I wire it straight in from the battery and not through the key switch, then the engine never shut off because the alternator would keep running. So that's why I got to put a diode in it so that it can only feed to the alternator and can't go back the other way. So if I get time here while we're cutting, or before we cut weed, I'll probably wire that in. But I'm as busy as I'm looking like I'm going to be this summer, I don't think I'm going to have a chance of that. I got several work projects lined up, and wheat and hay, and then I got some other stuff like on the 7800. I'd rather fix that before I fix this little wiring problem. But anyway, I'll get this pulled out. Alright guys, get the governor off of it here. Just these two mounting bolts here. It's an optional one. These things, they probably sold them to a bunch of different manufacturers just as auxiliary, because that's supposed to be in like a 1950 Dodge pickup is what that engine's, what originally came out in. But some people probably tell me it's Continental, but it's a Chrysler motor, so it's Chrysler on the distributor, or Chrysler Corp of Canada actually, because these are the first series of a Cockshut. When Cockshut started, they started badging the Oliver and Moline combines with Cockshut also, or well, they took the Cockshut design and made it in Brantford, Ontario, Canada. So yeah, that's what I got here. If I get it home, take it apart, and I don't know if it'll fairly tight. I don't know if it's got bushings or ball bearings in it, but take it apart and see. I think there's just going to be one gasket and a seal. Even if you just fill it with motor oil. But I'm hoping they're just froze up. Might take them apart, free them up a little bit, and put it back together, and away we go. So anyway, I think that'll probably do it for this one. Hopefully we'll get some corn planted tomorrow. Well, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.